Hi. I've been listening to this election and the election of Donald Trump, and a lot of the young people are so, outraged how that this has happened, and saying, oh, it's like 1984. My response to that is 1984 was like 1984 with Ronald Reagan. We've been going through this a long time. I know a lot of the young people are outraged and they're lashing out a little bit, saying that, why don't you hippies stop smoking pot and come out of your hiding and come out and do something? And I just want to say, look, don't be weed shaming us old hippies. We did our bit every day. You think that it was easy being in the public schools, trying to be a teacher, believing in peace and love and not trying to hide it? All these years, being a pacifist and believing in peace during all these wars? Don't you think that there were conservative forces against us, like high school principals that were jocks and hated anyone artistic or sensitive or poetic or insightful? Marine barracks principals, supervisors were on some kind of neocon crusade against the 60s. Not to mention police hounding us every time we try to be free, searching through our underwear drawers and busting us in the middle of the woods. It hasn't been an easy fight, but you're just getting into the fight. You're just seeing the hypocrisy. What about those of us who have known about it, seen it, while everybody else was sleeping and chugging off to war and going off to become doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs and giving up the 60s? We've been through fighting this fight a long time, and we've had lots of losses. The Kennedy brothers, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, John Lennon. A lot of people went down. And a lot of people went down in our personal lives too, due to murder and drug abuse and overdoses. We've been fighting that long fight, and we didn't ask for any credit. But we would have liked to have had lives. We would have liked to have been hired for the nice, cushy job to get, 30, 50 grand a year. It would have been nice. I had to live on 10 grand a year if I was lucky. Why? Because I believed in peace and love and personal freedom. It's been a long, hard climb, and I don't appreciate that you Johnny comes latelys that finally open up your eyes and see this corruption and are all freaked out by it. We've been seeing this a long time, and this whole Donald Trump fiasco is no surprise. You saw what happened with George Bush. You saw how he got into office. Of course it's rigged. It's totally rigged. Come on. We've known this since Reagan. We've known this since the Kennedys. We saw they were out in the street fighting Vietnam. I was protesting Vietnam. But what happened? They just had another war. They did another war, another war. We're not surprised. We've seen our country do the wrong thing every time. The wrong president gets elected. They do the wrong thing to go into the Middle East like a sledgehammer so that they can gobble up all the resources without thinking about what the consequences are going to be for the world. They can go off goose-stepping around, bullying the world with this war on terror crap. And we know it's crap. The urgent need of our time is to restructure our society so that it is more harmonious with nature, first of all, but also more edifying to the human soul, and not less. The accumulation of wealth is not a virtue. The greed of Donald Trump and the Walton family is not a virtue. Who needs more than $100 million a year to live on? Nobody. Now we need to restructure our world to not be obsessed with the virtue of being the winner and everybody else is the loser. This has been hammered into our heads ever since kindergarten. Winner, 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 loser, loser, loser. That's not the only options. wisdom over wealth, compassion over competition, virtue over violence. And they're not the same thing. We worship violence, we worship greed, we worship extreme wealth, and we get what we worship, we get what we want. Our heart's desire is for a narcissistic sociopath bazillionaire to represent our nation. That is sick. Our poets, our mystics, our statesmen who have grand ideas on how to make the human experience better for everyone on the planet. That's who should be ruling us, not those who care more about the corporate states that have more power and money than any national state. And that has to end. It's criminal. We didn't do anything to the banksters that ruined our economy except give them billions of dollars they didn't have to pay back or account for or anything. These are traitors. Barack Obama, a traitor to the nation. The American people did not want to bail out Wall Street. They did not want to elect Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or the old establishment. They wanted Bernie Sanders or someone new, somebody fresh. Somebody that was going to put people and planet over profits for once. Now, 60 years I've been politically aware here on this planet. It started when I was very, very young, just a little guy, 6 years old. And I knew something was up. Something was wrong. And that it was very sad. And I was only 6. So I've been aware of this a long time. It's not 1984, folks. It's a lot worse than 1984. It is terrible what's happening to our world. There's no more time for prevarication or for blaming everybody. No. Stop blaming. Start including. Start bringing people in. Not blaming the hippies. It's not our fault. We paid our dues. We're like veterans that have been through too many deployments over all these years, hiding out from the cops just for being a pacifist. Been laughed at by our families, overlooked by our colleagues. For what? And they're not good teachers. They're not good people. They're bad. They bully the students. A nice guy like me, inspired artist, comes into the schools. Oh, get him out of here. Osama bin Laden himself. He's got a beard, long hair. Get him out. Yeah. Force them to work at McDonald's, one place where they don't test your urine. Yeah, we've been fighting long and hard there, progressives. And I know you're all freaked out, but we're not. We're used to it. Didn't surprise me. Of course Donald Trump would be elected. He's the worst possible choice. So of course, that's what America does. It's what you've done. You know, look at all the wars we fought. And the ones, not just the ones we said we were fighting, but all the other ones too. All the coups and all the different Latin American countries, Africa, Asia. We are the bullies of the world, the fascist bullies of the world. And we're clinging to the colonial past when white men were king. With all our might, with all our huge death machine, Air Force, Marines and all that. Clinging to that colonial, brutal, sledgehammer, chowderhead, male bullying, alpha male bullshit all these years. And I've been disgusted by it. I was disgusted by it when Ronald Reagan was made president instead of Jimmy Carter in 1980. I was disgusted by it in 1991 when George Bush the first started the first Gulf War. Certainly disgusted by the 2000 selection of George W. Bush by the Supreme Court. Are you kidding me? We weren't burning down Washington after that? Well, forget it then. I mean, I did my part. I worked for years and years and years, man. I'm retired. I'm done. I'll play my songs and I'll make my videos and I'll do all that stuff, but I'm not going to march in the street for you. You all copped out, went out and bought techno toys and cars and big fat SUVs. You didn't make any fucking sacrifices for the planet. I haven't driven in, it's going on over almost 20 years now. I haven't driven a car. You think I would have liked to? It's hard to live without a car, but I did it. I'm still doing it. I live in limited situations with simple pleasures. I don't spend a lot of money at Walmart, let me tell you. What sacrifices have you made? Y'all in big houses. You got a million lights on. Y'all got cars. I see you in your cars. You all talk about the hippies haven't done enough. Well, we've done everything we possibly could, and we suffered. And a lot of us are tired. To see this country going down the tubes even faster than we could ever thought. Right down the drain. And the whole world with it. You know, I often wished when I was walking, it was 30 below, and I was walking out there somewhere, that there would be a winter without any ice and snow. And now that I have it, I'm a little worried. How far is it going to go? Do you even care? You just want to be all smart because you're into politics and yelling and screaming, blame everybody, and oh, I'm so outraged. You know what? It's been going on a long time. Where were you? Sleeping? You were sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I was fighting that good fight out on the front lines. I wasn't pontificating like some progressive pundit. I was out there in the schools. I was out there in the streets singing songs of peace and love. I was an example for peace and love everywhere I went, a poster boy for the 60s. And don't you think I paid my dues for that, because I did. Yeah, I like to smoke my weed. So what? It was all a Nixonian con that anything was wrong with weed in the first place. They just did it to disrupt the peace movement. That's the only reason why they made it illegal. They admitted it themselves. So enough with that already. We're not spaced out clowns. We are dedicated to peace and love and have been for all these decades. Or you wouldn't be up there yelling and screaming and carrying on, because there wouldn't be any progressives around. There'd be nothing. We did the best we could, and we're still fighting that brave fight in our own way. But it's up to you now. You see how bad it is. You see you got the big bazillionaire buffoon baboon for a president now. You think that's enough for you to wake the fuck up? But listen, I've been seeing this mess for a long time. Clinton let us down in the 90s, too, by being a Republican. All about law and order and filling the jails. Been going on a long time, man. You weren't sitting there watching the TV, seeing Robert Kennedy's head laying on there bleeding out in the kitchen floor, but I did. And he was a great hero of mine. And I was just a kid. And that was my innocence gone. So don't be all amazed that you're seeing this empire going down the tubes, because it is. Believe me, this is how empires fall. They get worse and worse and worse until they destroy civilization. Elites destroy civilization. That's what they do, and that's what they're doing. Now, there is a possibility, you know. You could actually have some ethical leaders that would follow the law and jail these bastards that make more than hoard more money than freaking nations. Take them all and put them all in jail, confiscate all their money, and fix the world with it. Fix the world. No more fossil fuels. We have the technology. We can do it easily. Let's do it. Do it. But you won't do it. You'll do the wrong thing. You always do. I just want to have my piece about it, because I don't like you putting down the hippies. We did what we could. We did the best we could with what we had. They had all the power, and they used it, and we suffered for it. So you should be grateful for the sacrifices that we made to keep the movement alive as best as we could. But no, we never got thanked for anything. We did, and we were right. Right on down the line. Ecology, war, the whole thing, we were right. Still are right. Still aren't listening. No, you won't listen to this either. But I had to have my say.